Madge, they did it the hard way, but you must be happy with that second half performance by your side.
Yeah, they were good in the second half. Obviously, the first half it got away on us a little bit. They actually had a really good chat at half time, and I felt that they were in a pretty good place at half time. I knew they had to do a fair bit of work too, so just really obviously proud of the players to be able to stick to the plan that they spoke about, and I think it just sort of solidified the fact that it works for them. So we just got to keep working on that now.
At half-time, you said patience was what you wanted from them. Is that what was most pleasing?
Yeah, it was. We were probably a bit scatty in the first half. We sort of applied a bit more pressure on ourselves just through penalties and various other things, but that come from various things we were doing with our attack as well. So I know the captain, he spoke to them at half-time and sharpened them up a bit, and then they got into the way that we know we can play. So really pleasing to see that they were in a position that their probably backs were against the wall, and to be able to fight the way they did and get the win at the end.
Reece, really, that last 25 minutes, he really did try and own that, and did. He must like the way, he had a few errors first half, but he doesn't stop him from trying to take the game on, and those two big plays.
He's a competitor, and I guess we all expect Reece to come up with those things just with what he's able to do, and but he just keeps competing. But I think the composure of Reno and what was going on out there. Obviously, I get the conversations coming back from what's being said on the field, and they just needed to stick to the plan the way they did. That was probably, from a coaching point of view, I was just really pleased with how they went about that. Because we've seen moments of that throughout the year, and I think it really sort of will give the boys, a lot of confidence and belief around what we're doing. It does work when they can stick to it, so we just got to keep working hard at that.
Reece looked pretty ginger in the warm-up. Was there a chance he might not play, or what's the latest with his knee?
No, I didn't know about that, so he looked all right though, so he was okay.
Is it going to be an ongoing thing? Because he seems to have these moments where he looks like he's in a lot of pain, but he overcomes it pretty quickly.
Yeah, the injury that he has had, he's well past it now, but sometimes you get your knee jammed a little bit just because of the nature of what it is. So anyone that's been through what he's had sometimes can get it a bit jammed, so you feel that and you just move on.
Was it good to win a different way, Adam? Like a lot of the time this year, you haven't played that well in the second half, not as well as you did today. But you had to come back today and show a lot of resilience and character. What did you make of that?
It was good. Like Madge said, when we stick to the plan and we stick to the game plan, we're a good footy side. When we don't, we're pretty ordinary. There's other ways I'd like to win, but it's always good to get a bit of confidence out of that. When we're down, we know we can fight back.
What's Payne's story, Madge? Like the club was saying it's a back. Some people were saying it's a quad. Then at Origin they were saying it's a groin. What's going on with Payne?
They're still trying to work that out. No, it's more referred pain from his back. So that's where it sort of tends to come from, and that can then obviously ricochet down through the legs at times. So we've just got to work on that.
Could Tony?
He's played a lot of high quality footy, Madge. Do you need to look at the way you manage him now? 16 games in 16 weeks for him, including Origin.
Yeah, we do manage him in the background. There's days where they don't come to training, and you always manage. Obviously, had plenty of Origin players go away and play, so you manage their weeks, and you tend to tell them to come in a captain's run and just make sure they're right. They're pretty diligent, the boys, Paddy and Pano, and Pano's been great for us. And they all have, just the way they've sort of gone about it. We faced a fair bit in the last sort of month, I suppose. But the boys stuck to their plan, and as we just spoke about there, that when they do that, we can see the team that they can be.
Madge, when in attack they take the shackles off, and you saw that in the last 20 minutes when Reece went from the 50 to that left-hand side. Is that the kind of football that you want to see them? Obviously very structured in defence and working their way out, but when there is in front of them, to let them go.
Yeah. Well, I can't give away too much of the plan, do I? But the captain orchestrates that, and he picks the times when we're going to do things. But we're very capable of playing ad-lib footy too, so that's part of what they like to play, which we've been working on pretty well sort of since I've been here. And you just got to pick your right times. And there's times where the game could turn on you like it did today, and they stuck to their plans about how they wanted to go about their game.
It's good to get finally, Adam, look at your deal's announced this week. I don't think you've spoken a bit since then, but how good's that you don't have to worry about that anymore? You can just go bang, and you're here for another year.
Yeah, it's good. I was pretty confident in sorting it in the background. Look, it wasn't a distraction, but glad it's sorted now. We can stop talking about it and focus on footy. It was mainly you that was asking the questions.
Very true. Yeah, one thing I would like to say, like the fans, they were loud today. They were excellent. You could sort of probably sense at half time they probably weren't quite sure how we were going to go, but to hear that on the way out, bringing them home, I guess it played a big part. And the players spoke about that too. They just said, mate, the atmosphere at the back end of that game was unreal. So, we're pretty spoiled to have that. Thanks.
Thank you.